everybody, it's Pam with Silver and Sparkles, and I have finished my new paper kit. So excited to show you guys. So I have been playing and playing and playing with it, and then I thought, well, I should do a video and we should make a few things together. I'm going to show you what I've been working on, and we'll do a couple of fun little projects. So I'm going to set that journal aside, which I'm excited to show you. But first, let me just really quick show you the papers. There are a whole bunch of these full sheets of florals. And of course, if you want to look at it more closely, you can pop over to Etsy. I'll have it linked for you in the description. I did decide on a name for the kit. It is Fancy Florals. So thank you, Doris. That was her suggestion, and I went with, there were so many good suggestions, you guys. And I did write them down in my planner so that when I have other floral kits, I think this is maybe my favorite or one of my favorites. I used it for the cover of my journal. Anyway, I'll have those ideas. So thank you guys. You guys are wonderful. There were so many good. Florabunda, like, totally cracked me up, and I loved it. So anyway, it was hard to decide, but we're going with Fancy Florals. I love anything and everything fancy. So that one's so pretty. So anyway, there's a whole bunch of these. The kit itself is 25 pages, and there's a freebie. So if you buy it on Etsy, you get all 26 pages. And you can also, I'll show you the freebie here in a minute. You can go get the freebie on Buy Me a Coffee, and I'll link that for you. Pretty. Okay, so there's all of those, like a whole bunch of pages, and there's just all kinds of things you can do with that. You can print them with the border, or if you're a printer and computer support it, you can do the borderless printing. So that's up to you. For the project that I did, I printed them like this. So I just printed a set to show you. So there are there's a page of fussy cuts. There is this page that has some circles and an oval and just a few images. A page with a whole bunch of tags, little strips, and you can cut these out by hand. You also, if you have a punch, even if it's like smaller, you can just punch the shapes out, even if it's a little bit different shape, if it works. So just things to consider. Some journaling cards, or you can turn these into tags, right? Some larger options for some tags, or fold in half for like a little journaling. All kinds of things you can do with those. Some tiny little journaling cards and squares. And then I did do a page of inspirations, I guess, and we're going to be using some of those, and I've used them some in a few of the things I've already made. You can just cut them in strips and do all kinds of things with that. And then the freebie this time is another page of fussy cuts. So like I said, you can just go get the freebie and get a little bit of a sense of the colors of the flowers. Or if you purchase the kit, you'll get this page. You don't have to download it in both places unless you just want to. So the kit itself, when you get on, there's the 2 pages of fussy cuts, but this one's the freebie. Okay, so just wanted to show you guys that really quick, but I'm very excited about it. There will be a print and ship option on Etsy. So if you don't print, or you would just like me to print it for you and ship it to you, make sure you check out that listing. Otherwise, it's just a digital kit, and you guys can download it and print it and use it. So I may need some of those. I don't think so, but I'm going to set them to the side for now. So let's look really quick, and I'll show you what we're going to make today too. So I don't do a lot of journals with rings as the binding, but I like them, and we're going to add some ribbons to that here in a minute. But I have done a little bit of work in it. And I think it was Patricia, I apologize if that's wrong, was asking for some more ideas of how to use fabric in journals. So I did actually use a little bit of fabric too. I don't think it's anything really ingenious, but I'll show you what I did. This is just like a little tag, but I made a bunch of fabric tabs. Some I've already decorated, and I used fabric to make some pockets too. So there's some different ideas. These I just hot glued down. I did sew, hope I'm on frame. I did sew these and then just glued them with my hot glue. Each of these pages, I'm going to actually show you how I did these. This is that packing paper that you get when you order things online, and I save it. And sometimes I iron it, I do all kinds of stuff with it. But I wanted the pages to just have a little bit different look and feel, and I'm going to show you how I made the pages that I sewed around. The tabs I didn't sew on, they're hot glued on. So I hope that makes sense. A few of the pages I put down some coffee dyed paper, and again, I haven't decorated everything. Just not quite, you know, I just started, like I said, I played, and then I thought, well, I should do a video. So here's a fun journaling card where I used one of the cards, one of the sayings, a little bit of sheet music, and that is a piece of the seam binding that we, you know, that I showed you guys on a video and how to do that. So I think it worked really well, the colors. And let me really quick, well, I know I'm showing you all kinds of stuff, but here is what I ended up doing that day, some on the video and so on. This is the neutral, the brown that I told you. And I got a question about, do the colors darken? Do they change as they dry? Well, this one definitely did, and I love it. I do, I really do. But it, even some yellow came out, and see, it's much crinklier because I did not use the hair dryer on it, versus this one that I did use the hair dryer on, and then I let it finish drying naturally. But this one, even, it was still damp when I showed it to you guys, but the colors sort of changed. So I think it kind of depends on the ink you use, and it depends on, like, sometimes I intentionally tried to make sure I got some darker sections and then left other sections with more white. But let me show you what happened here. After I did the video, I think we may have done this blue one together, but after I did the video, I got out my red ink pad, and red, unless you just use a lot of ink, really ends up being a pink. But look, here it is red, where I really got a lot of ink in those sections. And then I didn't realize when I laid them down to dry that a little piece reached over and touched the blue. But isn't that kind of cool? So anyway, I was talking about how I hadn't really done multiple colors on the same piece. But anyway, lots of beautiful colors. Some definitely ended up with more kind of this variation, and some, like the yellow, I did that one with you guys. It seems probably the closest. Well, this one is almost solid. This one has more variation. So anyway, you can kind of, hopefully that helps a little bit about what it looks like when it's completely dry. All right. Sorry. I'm just jumping around because I'm excited. Okay. Coffee dyed paper. Again, I will be adding pockets, journaling spots, some interactive elements, those types of things. I love how all of these fabric tabs have come together. I'm going to show you this in a second because we're going to make one of these here in just a minute and do a little bit of decorating probably on some of our pages. So yeah, that's it. I did 10 pages. I'm going to show you how to make the pages, and then we're going to make this little guy, and it is like just a really super easy folder, and it's out of one page, so I guess it is a one-page wonder. And it just has these 4 pockets, and I just made super duper simple little narrow tags or bookmarks or whatever to go in the pockets. So there's actually, we're not going to measure really, we're going to just kind of fold, and you're going to see how it comes together. I did use a piece of the super skinny twine because I didn't want to add too much bulk, but I really did like this feature that when you open it up, you know, you can untie this. So that's what I did. And it's a little bulky, but even with the ribbon on there, I mean, it slides right down in that pocket nicely. So that's what we're going to do here in just a minute. I'm just going to set it aside and we'll get to that. All right. So anyway, I hope you guys are also excited about the fancy florals and you like these ideas for some fabric and using the seam binding. I want to show you how to make a page. And I am going to take a minute and tie a few pretties on those rings to show you how it really changes the look of the journal. And then I'm going to show you how to make that quick little folder. All right, so to make the page, this is what I did. I intentionally printed these with the border and then just cut them out. So each page ended up being approximately almost, well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 10 5/8 by almost 8 inches. And then I just folded the page in half. And I did ink around the edges. And then I took a piece of the packing paper. This piece might be close to the right size. I want to have the torn edges, so we'll use a different piece. So I just took a piece. It didn't have to be a perfect piece. And I kind of just tucked it in like that. And then I took my ruler and I wanted, I don't know, not quite probably, or 1/4 of an inch or something like that all the way around. So I just tore my packing paper. And then I'm going to scooch that down just a touch. And then I'm also going to tear this edge. Okay. And then I just popped over to my sewing machine and I just sewed all the way around. And what happened, I've never done this before, but each page, it has a nice kind of little bit of a crinkle. It has this nice little edge around it, but they feel almost, I'm trying to think, they don't feel like fabric necessarily, but you can tell there's something kind of in there. They're a little bubbly in a good way. I don't know. I mean, it's still nice and flat, but anyway, if you have a sewing machine and you like to sew on paper, that's what I did. Now, and I like that look. I think, and we're going to do one here just with the glue and see how it does, because I'm curious, and I think it'll be just fine. Again, I would normally probably ink this before I glue it down because it's kind of hard to ink the edges before. But I'm just going to use my regular glue. I feel like if I used my glue stick, it might be too wet and warp on me a little bit, and I don't want that to happen. So, glue on me. Let's just see how this works. All right, and then we're going to just sandwich it together, because then I just punched the holes for the ring style binding. Now this is definitely one of those, you could use that hinge binding that I did a tutorial on recently, or the tab style binding that I've done tutorials on. So there's, you know, lots of options. Okay, so again, if you don't want to sew with the packing paper, yeah, I mean, we'll see how it dries, but I think it'll be fine. And you can then decorate your page however you want. Add pockets, you know, just like mine. Yeah, fits right in there. So that's all that is. It was pretty easy, and I like the look, and it gives it, again, something to do with all that packing paper. All right, before we make the little folder, which is like not even, it's just so easy, let's pick a few ribbons. I want some green, And definitely one of the, maybe some of the kind of corally pink. And this isn't the best way to store this. I need to get it on my little ribbon holders, which I have printed some out just for this. I don't think I'm going to use, that's that Baja Breeze, I think. But this blue, let's find the end of this one. Yeah, this one will work. We can use a little piece of that. And do we need maybe some of the brown and or yellow? Yeah, let's do the brown. And I should have organized my ribbon before I got on camera, right? I just want one of the yellows. Okay. But it is kind of fun because I love how it looks all jumbled up like this too. One of my confessions. So I don't really know how long. This one is, if you kind of pull it out a little bit, almost 10 inches. And I think I'm just going to tie a few on and we'll see how it looks, because I can always take them off if I don't like it, and we'll see. I could also add some charms to the end of the ribbon, you know, that would be cute. I don't think I'm going to put any on here. Let's just see. Like I said, I don't do the rings very often, but whenever I see other people make ones with it, I'm like, oh, that's so pretty. So now another option would have been to probably put all the ribbons together and kind of tie one knot, but let's just see how it goes. And I hope you can see too how that package of seam binding really does go a long way, because I was able to make a lot and I still have a lot left in the package. Yeah, I'm loving that. And then we'll do just a little bit of blue. Now this end has the red, and I don't think I want that. So let me grab this end. I'm going to save that for something special. And I didn't really think about what order I was doing my colors. I just went for it. And am I even in the camera? I don't know. If I'm not, I'm sure you guys will tell me. But please be nice and realize I wasn't doing that on purpose. Okay. Oh, yeah. Cute. And you can keep going, right? As always, you can always do more. But I think that's fun. And as I add tags and things to my journal, more ribbons and things will also pop out. Very cute. Okay, and I've got to decide what, if anything else, I'm going to do to the cover. Okay. So we're going to make one of these. Now, when I did this one, I hadn't printed them double side, so I actually lined it with the packing paper, and all I did was glued a piece of packing paper to the other side of this sheet. It got kind of bulky. I don't know, it doesn't look that bulky, but I really worked at it with my bone folder. So I decided on this one to just print on both sides. You can decide, or you could just have the white on the backs of when you open up the folio. It really is up to you. So this is what I did. I decided how deep I wanted my pockets, and I want to fold it from the bottom. So this is the direction of my paper. This is the top, this is the bottom. So again, I'm not going to measure. Don't panic. I'll tell you what the measurement is. But I'm just eyeballing it. I folded up right at 2 1/4 inches. Now, the one measurement that I did do was I wanted to find basically the center of my paper. This is 10 1/4 inches. So I'm going to go to 10 1/8, or not 10, 5 1/8 will be the center. And I'm just going to make a little mark. know if you guys can see it. I'll already sit here in a minute to the center, because I'm going to then unfold this piece and I'm going to fold each side right in. And try to do it straight so we didn't score or anything. And then take your other side and fold it to that line. Okay. Now, what I wanted then was to have, gotta make everything kind of fold together, to have that gap, right? But before we trim it, I just took my bone folder, because I'm not cutting and, giving us the nice little wiggle rooms that I do a lot of times when we do one-page wonders, so everything folds up nicely. This one will, but you just have to kind of make the paper happy. Make it happy. Okay, then what I did is I got out my trimmer before I glued anything, and I cut a I don't know, that's like a 1/2 inch. I'm just using the silver section, but that's a 1/2 inch. So I cut a 1/2 inch off of each end. So that makes the pocket skinnier, and same on this end, 1/2 inch. And of course you could lay it on your big trimmer and not have to be dealing with the edge of your trimmer like I am, but I wanted to use the one that I have on my desk so you guys could see what I was doing. Okay, now I'm going to ink a touch. I'm going to use my walnut stain ink. And just get a little bit of ink at the top of that pocket. I did like the look of the ink on the inside creases. And, oh, I haven't folded it over yet. All right, let me finish inking those two. Okay, so once you get it trimmed, and this one looks like, no, it's about the same width. I don't have the tabs on yet, so it doesn't look quite right. All right, once you have it trimmed up, then what you are going to do is just fold it over and get it as neat as you can. Fold it over. And again, this is where it's a little bulky, is down here with the pockets, but it's not bad. And by cutting the gap here, you don't have to worry about everything, touching. We could have also, let me erase that, not folded to the center, but I wanted a one-page wonder that was going to easily fit into pockets in this journal, and that extra width, might have made it a little challenging for the size I wanted. So isn't that cute? Love it. And I love these flowers. Like I said, this might be my favorite page. I love the pink ones a lot too. Okay, now let's add the ink on this one. We're almost done. That's how easy this is. Okay. Now everything else I can ink later around the edges and around these creases and edges. All right, glue. You need glue, of course, on each end. And then you also want glue to hold these pockets. And I decided to bring the glue to the outside. I don't know if it's the outside or the inside, but to one side of the fold of the crease. I don't know if that makes sense. Instead of like right down the middle, but you could do it right down the middle. I don't know that it really matters. You'll get a little more width in one of the pockets, if you bring it to one side or the other. All right, so you did a strip of glue here, 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 and here. So basically on the ends and each of the score lines. I think it's so cute, and I like how it's folding out. Now, I just used a scrap that I had on my desk, and I'll probably do it again. It's just sort of neutral to make my tabs. This one had some text on it. This one, I don't know what paper kit this is from, but I'm just going to cut these and use them. If you don't have a whale tab punch, you can make tabs. Here, I think I have. I was just going to grab one of the squares. They were here a moment ago. Little squares that I cut out. Oh, here they are. Okay, so you could take a square, fold it in half, right? And make yourself some little tabs that you put eyelets on. You could angle around the corners. They would look really good too, okay? So whatever, you know, whatever you feel like doing. I decided I wanted mine to just kind of be a neutral paper and not necessarily be one of the florals. But again, you could definitely use one or even the same one if you wanted to have everything kind of match and coordinate. All right, now this one, I'm going to go ahead and add ink along these edges. You do want to line these up because we're going to tie it with the twine, and so you want them, you know, lined up. So you can eyeball it and be brave. And you also don't want your tabs to go past or really even too close to the center line. You should have room. Now, you know, if I really bring these out, I wouldn't, but I'm going to be okay with them coming in a little bit. But I just kind of look at it and make sure I'm happy with it. And I'm going to glue this one first. So I'll add a little bit of glue to one side. And then a little bit of glue to this side. And then, again, I'm going to kind of try to get it to be about the same distance. And again, if you feel more comfortable, mark it. But I'm all right. I'm living on the edge today. That looks okay. And then glue the other side. All right. Now, I am going to put an eyelet. I'm going to get my ink pad out of my way. And we're going to do an eyelet. Now, I'm going to put a dot just to, you know, be a little bit more careful. So I think I want my eyelet right here and right here. And you don't want to be too close to the edge. So, you know, make sure you come far enough in. And again, try to have them match as much as you can. It's not too bad. And I'm going to pick out my eyelets. I found, again, I've had, this is just ancient, but I think the pink ones, the green ones might look cute too. And now I have to dig in here and get out the one that I want. I think I want the pink. And there's 2 different shades of pink, so we'll see how I do. 2. All right. And if you've been around watching my videos, you know my crocodile's acting up. And so I've gone back to my tried and true silent setter. And they don't make these anymore, so I apologize. But that's what I'm going to use. There's different things that you can find to set eyelets if you like working with eyelets. And crocodiles are a good tool until they die. Everything is, right? Until it stops working. Cute. The Big Shot's still working. I just sometimes grabbing it down off the shelf. This is just easier. All right, and I even somewhere still have the little piece that looked like this, and you hit with a little hammer. Those were kind of the first eyelet setters that I remember when I was scrapbooking years and years ago, and I still have that somewhere too, but it is loud. This one is called Silence, so that you can set eyelets, I guess, when people are sleeping, because the other one, you really hear that hammer. All right, and then I'll show you really quick how I attached the twine. And I just cut a piece that I knew should be plenty long. I'll tell you how long I cut it. Just, it's probably more than you need. It's right at 15 inches. And I'm going to fold it basically in half. And it's good that this is skinny because I used the little tiny eyelets. All right, so I just thread it through with the loop, and then on one side, I'm going to attach like this. And then, I don't know if one of these is longer, just a smidge. Take the longer one and bring it through the other side, right? And then you just tie a bow. And of course, make some tags or something fun to go in the pockets. Add some pictures, you know, whatever you want. You can definitely use some of the fussy cuts and tags and make some pretty things. And then I love how it just folds up in there. Now it does, I think, lend itself to then having, you know, a ribbon closure like I did on this one. And they look really cute. So easy. You know, I don't know that it warranted its own one-page wonder video because I just folded it up like that, but I do like the little closure or the little interactive element there. And you could put some words on the front, all kinds of things. So that's what I came up with for today. I can't wait to make a whole pile. I said we might use these today, but a whole pile of kind of strip ephemera or page edgers or bookmarks or things using these words. And I'm really excited about going through. Once I'm done videoing, I'm going to play more in my journal, but in adding, you know, some different pieces to these fabric tabs, add words. This is the pocket that I had this one in, and I think with the ring binding, it's going to get to be really super chunky and maybe more fabric, more ribbons. I don't know. It's going to be fun. This might look cute if I even tied a ribbon around it right there. I don't know, but I'm happy and I love the kit. I hope you do too. Let me know. Please leave me a comment. And I appreciate everybody weighing in. And again, thank you, Doris, for the fancy floral name suggestion. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Until next time.